A religious person is expected, since he looks and represents as if he's a servant of Hashem at all times, he works for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's expected to follow suit. He's expected, oh, you look the part, that means, yeah, you may work for MetLife. Yeah, you may work for Goldman Sachs. Yeah, you work for, I don't know, Coca-Cola. But in reality, that's like your day job. Your full-time job is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So act accordingly. So when a person that looks religious, acts religious, goes to synagogue, keeps the holidays, builds a sukkah, does something illegal in business or unethical in business, the Yetzer Hara makes sure to highlight it much, much more in the eyes of the secular people that are looking for an excuse to justify their existing behavior. It's not to say that religious people tend to be bigger criminals, chas v'shalom, than the non-religious people. The opposite is the truth. There are many, many more crimes per capita and in general by non-religious people than there is by religious people. But needless to say, when a religious person has a Ponzi scheme or some type of taking advantage of the poor and the lowly, where, let's say, countless stories of rich religious landlords that refuse to fix their buildings and let the people that live in their buildings live in a place that's no different than a rat hole. And when people complain, say, listen, you complain, get out. But they don't have money to go put a down payment on a new house, or on a new apartment, or even to get rent anywhere else. No one's going to approve them. They got into this one by mamash miracle. So they're stuck there. And this guy knows it. And he refuses to fix the sinks, and he refuses to fix the walls. And anytime somebody goes into the house, they don't want to stay there. Why? There's holes in the walls. There's mold everywhere. It's completely disgusting. But he feels, no, that's what you get for the price. Don't let yourself think that that's true, number one. Don't let yourself think that that's da Torah, because that's not true. You're not allowed to let people live like that, Jews or non-Jews. Not allowed to let people live in a place that even a rat gets sick in. Not allowed. But unfortunately this happens. Why? Because people feel like they have to help HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If he's not going to give me the money that I want, then I guess I got to help him. So I got to take advantage of people that can help themselves. So that's one of the reasons why you see sometimes the religious criminals get highlighted much more. Because the Yetzer Hara wants to make sure that all of the people that are not religious, all of the secular people, use that as an excuse. You see, you're going to be religious. You're going to be like this guy. You're even nicer than this guy. You're not even religious. And it justifies this horrible cycle of continuing to go against the Kadosh Baruch Hu. People blame God for a person's mistake. The Yetzer Hara loves to highlight these things, which causes such a crime in heaven called Chilul Hashem, that there is the Gemara says there is no way to do TeShuva for it. There's no way to fix it until a person dies. The sin, we have a lot of sins, Baruch Hashem, in the Torah. A lot of opportunities to mess up. Chilul Shabbat, eating non-kosher, going with a married woman, going with a woman that's not your wife. The list is endless. But every one of these things, including murder, have a way to do tshuva. Every one of them. Except Chilul Hashem. Chilul Hashem is so big that the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin says that when there is Chilul Hashem, you don't even have to pay any consideration to the Kvod HaRav, to the honor of a rabbi. Which in other places in the Torah it says, if you do not have kavod for the Rav, like Nadav and Avihu, for example, in last week's parasha, one of the reasons Rabbi Eliezer says that Hashem killed them is because they didn't have kavod harav. Why? They said, listen, Moshe didn't put the ktoret, he didn't bring the korban right now to Hashem, so you know what? We think it's the right thing to do it now. Who asked you? Who asked you if it's now or later? He's the rabbi. You don't go do anything without asking permission from the rabbi. You have to go to Gedolei Hador, you have to ask him, allowed, not allowed? Kvod Harav, is allowed or not allowed for me to go to this party? Allowed, not allowed for me to marry this woman? Allowed, not allowed for me to marry this man? You cannot take a step without asking the rabbi. But they decided to take it upon themselves. Hashem says, oh, you know what happens to somebody who doesn't have Kvod Harav? What? I kill him. Yeah, but we were righteous. Exactly. You were righteous until you did this. So we see in other places in the Torah that Hashem gives so much power to the sages, to the Bnei Torah. He says that if you desecrate their name, it's like you desecrated mine. But if you're going to desecrate mine, then there's no consideration for their name. There's no consideration for their name. So the reality is, Rabotai Yekarim, you have to understand, Chilul Hashem is above everything. And when a person violates, desecrates the name of Hashem, there's nothing worse than that. So when a person does, when a Jew cheats in business, even more so if he's a religious Jew, when that gets exposed, as the Mishnaying Avot says, someone that desecrates Hashem's name in baseter, in hiding, behind the scenes, nobody knows that he owns that building. He owns it under a partnership that owns a partnership that owns a partnership that owns a partnership, and nobody really knows who owns any of the partnerships. So he's doing baseter. Oh, he only shows up for collecting the checks once a month. So no one really knows. He pretends like he works for somebody. He violates Hashem's name, baseter. He lets everybody live in mold inside a sewer, but he collects full rent check. Guess what? When Hashem punishes them, the Mishnaying Avot says, he punishes them begalui, befaresia, in front of everybody. Yeah, but that's going to desecrate Hashem's name. No. It was already desecrating Hashem's name. You just didn't know about it yet. Desecration of Hashem's name already happened. A few people knew, a few people said, it already happened. Let's just make it big deal. Why? I want to show you what I can do, Hashem says. So sometimes people violate Hashem's name in business. And the Malach HaMavet, the Satan, the Yetzer Hara, loves to expose this to the world. Because he wants to give all of the non-religious people an excuse to continue wasting their time, living a purposeless life, and thinking that they have an excuse when they get up to Shaman. They have a negotiation tactic. They say, listen, Hashem, yeah, I wanted to be religious, but then I saw my rabbi go out with some girl that wasn't religious, and he was married. Like these two guys that I overheard speaking in the supermarket on Friday. Hashem Yachem was a kaparat avonot. One guy says to the other guy, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? You're shopping. What are you going to do? You hear stuff. My headphones weren't working to listen to Shiur Torah. Apparently I had to hear this. So the guy says, listen, I heard you have a girlfriend. Yeah, I have a girlfriend. No, I heard, well, she's not Jewish though, right? No, I got her. She's from Colorado, really nice girl. I took her to the kotel. You should see it. 300-400 people. She goes, yeah, but she's not Jewish. He goes, yeah, shtuyot. He goes, convert her. Why don't you have her convert? He goes, what convert? We took her to some rabbi, then we found out the rabbi was sleeping with some girl. I'm going to take her to the rabbi? Hashem yirachem. Hashem yirachem aleinu in a generation of such lowly people that pretend to be rabbis, but then they take advantage of people like this. Look what happened. This guy may lose his Olam HaBa because of this stupid rabbi. Calls himself a rabbi. We expose this. Why? Because we want to tell you, and anyone that's watching today or whenever, this is not the face of Judaism. This is not Da'at Torah. This is not the Torah. This has nothing to do with Hashem. It has to do with Reshaim. It has to do with evil people. They pretend to represent Hashem, but they don't. Some people wear a costume once a year. The Jews, they wear a costume once a year for Purim. The Goyim, if they celebrate their Christian falsehood, they celebrate Halloween, full of Avodah Zarah. So they wear a costume once a year. Le'avdil, Am Yisrael wears a costume once a year. But then there's some people, their whole life is one big costume. Their whole life is one big costume. So anytime you see somebody that looks like they're Eved Hashem, they look like they're a servant of Hashem, they look like a Jew. that has a kippah and a beard and everything else, but they do something that doesn't look right. It's illegal, it's unethical, it's disgusting, it's everything in between. Just remember what I said here. This is a costume. This is a costume. That's it. Don't connect it to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and do not use it as a case for yourself. Like as if you're going to go up to Shaman and say, no, Hashem, I wanted to get religious, but then I heard about this guy. That's not going to help you. That's just the test. You know, sometimes you go to a place where somebody's going to talk in a microphone that you testing, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hashem is just testing your neshama. Can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me talking? I'm showing you this. Are you going to say, this is me? Or are you going to look at the good people and say, this is me? Which one? Testing your neshama. Is your neshama receptive to good or only to bad? Are you looking for excuses or are you looking for good? You're looking for the truth. If you're looking for excuses, testing 1, 2, 3, check. Okay, that's you. You were looking, you got it. If you were looking for good, testing, no sound. I need the truth. Oh, okay. There's shiur in Sunny Isles every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. Yeah, but I'm in Jamaica. Okay, so you listen on the internet. Oh, okay. Abali ta'er mesayin biyado. Gemara says someone that comes to be look to be purified, get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says, I'll give you a hand. I'll send you the internet. I'll give you an internet in a generation where there's so many lowly people, and you could still get the truth even if you're in the middle of nowhere.